Alright guys, in this video, I am going to talk about what I believe to be the best financial structure if you are looking to start a business and how to bring finances into your business to help you get running. Stay tuned. Alright, so for those that have been following me for quite some time, you know that I'm in the real estate sector primarily. However, I do have several other businesses in different verticals. And so I am pretty familiar with raising capital for my own business and several different structures that you can structure with capital partners or simply lenders. So without going into every different structure you possibly could, structure, again, to use that word, I want to talk to you about what I believe to be one of the best models when you are getting started with your business, because it gives you leverage to do more. Now, a lot of people talk about debt versus equity, and that's really the decision-making factor that you as a business owner are going to have to deal with or think about. In which case, how are you raising money? Do you want debt, which would be like a straight loan where there's usually just a simple interest behind it, like 5, 6, 7, 8% interest, and there is no equity splits or profit sharing at all? Or do you want equity lending where there usually will not be any preferred interest rate associated with the loan, but instead it is transferred over into equity or profit sharing? Now, I would encourage you to write that down, because depending your vertical, as I mentioned, I'm largely in real estate, but I do have different vertical businesses. In vertical, what I mean by vertical is like I have an Amazon business that has nothing to do with real estate. That is a vertical, right? Real estate is a vertical. And I have several others, but that's really what I mean. So, depending upon what vertical you are in, let me tell you what I believe the best way to get started. And I actually would tell you, as someone that is looking to grow and scale their business, regardless of what you're in, I would say that this can be implemented throughout to be able to go wider so that you can create more opportunity for yourself. I would say no one is in business anyways to just go do one simple thing, to go create a high-paying job for themselves. Ultimately, at some level, you do want to be able to scale. At some level, you do want to have that growth and leverage other people and systems so you can remove yourself out of it. So potentially, you could create more opportunity. I believe most entrepreneurs, that's what you're in it for. And so this is why I'm really going to suggest this structure as a good starting point. But also, this same structure is really good for the growth side of things. So here's what I have done for myself to grow, as well as what I've done to start other businesses. I have taken on more equity partners than I have debt. So again, to refresh and to be very clear, debt, as defined in this video, would be having an interest rate associated with a loan. There's no equity or profit sharing at all. Partner equity would be money given by a partner that they will then take some equity or profit sharing based around success of your business. Why I believe this to be so valuable is, one, for those just getting started and not really having much capital to start their business, this allows you to at least get going. Honestly, this is exactly what I did in the real estate space. It allowed me to get my first couple flips going, even though I was giving away, 30, 40, 50% of the actual profits of those flips. I was keeping the other half of it, and I had no money to bring to the table anyways. Now, while this money is very, very expensive, much more expensive than debt, it allowed me to get going when I was quite simply broke, busted, and disgusted. I was literally living on a couch. I had no income, and the income that it provided me was more than enough as I started going. Now again, I'm going to echo this point. It is very expensive money, but if it allows you to start to grow and scale so you can do more, then it actually becomes very, very useful, and that's why I held on to it for so long. The first several years of my investing career, I actually only had this kind of money because it allowed me to not just do one flip at a time or two we got up to doing 4 or 5 rehab flips at one given time, and that actually led to a decent amount of income coming my way, even though I was giving up 30, 40, or even 50% of the profits. Now, another reason why I like this so much is the lender or partner, as you will, actually really loves the model. You are really aggressively paying him profits, right? If you think about the two different models of debt or profit share, as long as you do your business well and are successful, the profit share really should way outperform any type of preferred interest you would give a lender. Again, debt would just give a preferred interest of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% debt, preferred interest that you would be paying monthly as a loan more often than not. Again, I know some of you that have experience in this, you might be thinking, well, there's all these different examples, so I want to keep this boilerplate. If you are going to have a debt lender, then you're going to be paying them monthly. Yes, you could back end accrue it. There's different ways to structure it, but debt typically is you're making a monthly payment. Okay, think credit card. The partner equity side is profit sharing, so you don't have any monthly payments, and effectively you're paying them when you sell the product or good. Now, if you do that well, that could create a lot of income for your equity partner and for yourself. So instead of me, and why I love this so much in my real estate space is because instead of me just doing one rehab at a time, even when I started to make some money, I was able to do 3, 4, 5, 6 rehabs at one time because I had an equity partner that lent money on the properties, but not for a debt or an interest rate, not for a preferred interest rate, but for profits, profit share. Now, let me tell you one big secret of why I really love this. And by the way, if you're liking this video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm always trying to bring you the best business, entrepreneurship, and real estate information I possibly can. So make sure you show some love, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button. Make any questions or comments below right in the comment section. I'm happy to answer you as well. So here's a big secret that I don't think a lot of people think of when taking on equity partners is if you make them happy, they're gonna continue to lend you money. And when that happens, you can start to sharpen your pencils, as they say. You can start to restructure your agreement, not in a malicious way, but if you were giving someone, let's just say 50% of the profits of goods sold, you might be able to say, hey, this has been great, but I've made you a return of 400% this year. Why don't we go from a 50-50 model down to a 60-40 model in my favor, since I'm doing absolutely everything and you're just bringing the money. You could be even more aggressive and structure different models, such as some sort of management fee on the front, depending upon what vertical you're in, or an operational fee, right, that you can collect on the front. Then you do a 50-50 split on the back end. So there's different ways to renegotiate once you've proven yourself to your equity partner, and then you can say, hey, based around the returns I'm showing, your returns are incredible. Let's sharpen our pencils a little bit and let's keep going at a further or a faster pace. What happens there, and what happened to me in my scenario, is the lender loved it so much, he actually told a buddy, and his buddy came to the table with more money in the equity position. Now, what I was able to do based around my success and proven track record at that time, remember now I'm a couple years into my business, I was able to negotiate a better favorable term to me and my side because now I had a proven track record. I didn't have to prove it to this new lender. He knew because his buddy was my first lender. So again, this is very specific to like the first lender that you bring on. You might give the farm away. You feel like you might be giving 50%, 60%, 70%, something crazy just to get you going. Now, when the second lender came on, I spoke to him and we talked out terms on how this would look, and that I was just unwilling to do 50-50 anymore. Is obviously the way I phrased it with my lenders, hey, your buddy has made something like 400% on their money, right? Like that's just a really expensive loan. I'm sure you can appreciate that, Mr. Lender. But I'm very happy to bring you on as an equity partner, but it probably wouldn't be at a 50-50%. Maybe it would be at a 70-30, 60-40, 75-25, or like I mentioned, maybe there's, for every month, there's a management fee or some sort of salary paid, whatever you want to say it, and then we do the splits after that. So you can really kind of sharpen your pencils. But the reason I love it is because you now have the person who's now going to open up their checkbook, your first lender. They believe in you so much because you did so well for them. They're just going to keep lending to you over and over and over, and to a point where they might even go borrow money to continue lending to you because of how favorable the terms are. This is when you absolutely need to start renegotiating, because quite honestly, debt, right? When I go back to equity partners and debt, debt is so much cheaper. But until you have some capital under you, bringing in equity partners really can be super favorable to you in any vertical. I actually have a friend who's in the restaurant business. This is his only way that he raises capital. He doesn't go out and raise capital from banks and institutions and have debt. He only brings in equity partners for this exact same reason. He firmly believes once you get those people on your side, there's so much more that can happen. You can go further faster. He's now been able to open up several different restaurants because the equity partners are so happy with his performance on the first restaurant that he was able to open up several different restaurants, and is starting to become, I don't know the name of it, I don't want to say a chain, but like an umbrella of restaurants, because they're all different. It's not the same restaurant opened up multiple times. It's like all different restaurants. Again, I'm not in the restaurant industry, but he would be able to tell you a little bit more. But that's why it works in all different verticals. I'm heavily in the real estate space. I also have Amazon and others. My buddy is in the restaurant space, and he only raises equity capital because he can actually go further faster. The equity partners get so happy with the results, they're more than willing to come in heavier on the next round, etc., etc. So again, without going too far of a deep dive, I'm a huge fan and in massive favor of doing equity partnerships and having an equity partner rather than debt. Because if you don't have a lot of your own money to put into the deal, this gets you making income, going faster, and it gives you scalability to do more. Again, guys, if you have any interest in real estate investing, go to thescienceofflipping.com. I'm happy to do a 15-20 minute strategy session with you. Thescienceofflipping.com, there's a form there. But if you're liking my video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, make some comments, share these videos. It'd be the world to me if you would do that. And if you have any questions below in the comment section, feel free to ask me questions, and I look forward to seeing you guys on another video.